Podcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara, live with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. Tour to historical places, according to yesterday's report. Water and soil conservation activity. South Africa returns tighter COVID restrictions as cases surge. And India accuses Twitter of not complying with the IT rules. Welcome to your domestic in brief. According to yesterday's report, over 150 youth in Ad-Ghayh and students of the Ad-Ghayh College of Business and Social Sciences conducted a visit to historical areas in the subzone in connection with 20th June Martyrs Day. The visit that was conducted on foot on 12th June included the Terenges of Adduagara and Abba Salama areas were provided briefings by the combatants of the EPLF that were stationed there from 1977 to 1978 on the heroic feat demonstrated by the liberation fighters in the struggle for liberation. The participants indicating that such a tour will have a significant contribution in developing the understanding of the youth about the history of the country and the human and material sacrifices paid in the struggle for independence, called for organizing similar tour to other areas of historical and heroism places. They also expressed a conviction to live up to expectations of Eritrean martyrs. Residents of 17 administrative areas in Gunda subzone are conducting extensive water and soil conservation popular campaigns. The campaign includes the construction of terraces, water catchment schemes, as well as renovation of micro dams and water canals. Engineer Kaseta Gabretinsae, an agricultural expert in the subzone, indicated that the residents have already renovated the dirt road linking the administrative area of Fishay, Mirara, Tarat, and Imbatkala, and constructed terraces in 4 administrative areas in Ginda subzone, including in Damas, Dongolo, Adishuma, and in Ginda town. Likewise, plantings of tree seedlings was conducted in the administrative area of Mahabar, Nafasit, and Leighton, while construction and renovation of micro dams and water canals were conducted in the administrative areas of Shabbah and Matkal Abit. According to Engineer Kaseta, within 2 months of the residents of the subzone have renovated 90 kilometers of dirt roads, 926-kilometer terraces, and 12,264 meters cubic of water divergence schemes, as well as other activities with a view to boosting agricultural production. That's all with your domestic. Up next with your international. Stay tuned for more. And on your global report, nightly curfews extended, limited on gatherings and alcohol sales, as well as COVID-related hospital admissions also increased. South Africa has returned to tighter restrictions on public gatherings and liquor sales as the country sees a rapid rise in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. President Cyril Ramaphosa said on Tuesday that the new infection threatens the health system in several parts of the country, and COVID-related hospital admissions have increased 59% over the past 2 weeks. The nightly curfew has been extended by an hour from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., while religious gatherings indoors are limited to 50 people. The number of people allowed to gather for social events have been also limited to 50 people for indoor events and 100 people for outdoor events. The retail sales of alcohol will only be permitted between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. local time from Monday through Thursday. South Africa's 7-day rolling average of daily new cases has nearly doubled over the past 2 weeks from 6.69 new cases per 100,000 people on May 31st to 12.71 on June 14th, according to Johns Hopkins University. South Africa has been the country's hardest hit by the continent's hardest hit by the pandemic throughout the continent, with a cumulative total of more than 1.7 million infections, including 58,000 deaths, accordingly, and recording nearly 40% of Africa's total confirmed cases. On your final report, India's technology minister says Twitter Inc. deliberately defied and failed to comply with the country's new IT rule, which became effective on late May. Technology Minister Ravi Shankar passed on Wednesday said Twitter has chosen, in quotation, the path of deliberate defiance when it comes to following new internet regulations that digital activity have said could critically online speech and privacy in India. In quotation, if any foreign entity believes that they can portray itself as the flag bearer of free speech in India to accuse itself from complying the law of the land, such as attempted are misplaced, unquote, Parsad said in a series of tweets. And again, he also quoted that, however, the simple fact of the matter is that Twitter has failed to comply with the immediately guideline that comes into effect from the 26th of May. The new rule, or the so-called determinatory guidelines announced in February, are aimed at regulating content on social media. Firms such as Facebook, its WhatsApp Messenger, and Twitter, making them more accountable to legal requests for the swift removal of posts and sharing details about the originators of messages. Under the new rules, social media websites and tech companies will also have to remove content within 36 hours after an administrative or legal order is issued. Their employees can be held criminally labeled for failing to comply with the government's requests. The rule also requires big social media companies to set up grievance redress mechanisms and appoint a new executive to coordinate with law enforcement. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we're back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these were your major headlines. Tour to historical places. And water and soil conservation activities according to yesterday's report. And on your international. South Africa returns to tighter COVID restrictions as cases surge. Finally, India causes Twitter of not complying new IT rules. That is all for now. Thanks for watching.